Hey guys, it's Blepner here with another team review, and today we're going to be looking at DOUBLADE in the Open Great League. And now DOUBLADE, of course, is the evolution of Honedge. It got access to the coverage move Sacred Sword this season, which is just the perfect move for it. Absolutely amazing coverage. As some of you guys might know, I like to use a coverage move of my lead in the safe swap, because it's likely that they will swap into something that's weak to that typing of damage in response to my safe swap. So that was nice. I have a Shadow Annihilate lead throughout the season. Shadow Annihilate has been really strong. It didn't change the season at all. But however, in the back, I have Ludicolo, and Ludicolo got access to Astonish. It also got access to Weather Ball. I'm not sure if it got access to it this season or if it was in the previous season, but Weather Ball also, of course, got a buff back to its original power level the season before this one. And so, yeah, really excited about this new season, guys. This is the very first day of the season, December 2nd, 2025, and it's looking good. It's looking like we have a pretty diverse meta. So let's get started with this team using new and improved Ludicolo and new and improved Honedge in the back. So here we have Annihilate into Beedrill. This is a neutral matchup for the most part. Of course, my counters are being double resisted, whereas their poison jabs are only being single resisted. So that means that I'm doing a little bit less damage than they are. I do boost my attack here. This is why Rage Fist is so strong, because Rage Fist is a decent move on its own, and it also boosts attack. So potentially I could just go for a full farm down here if I two-shielded, especially with these attack boosts. They do shield, but let's see what I do here. I think I'm going to shield because I'm going to guarantee a shield back, and I'm going to have alignment, which is positive for me. Yeah, okay, so they have an Umbreon, and this is where you're going to see the early season come out, because the Umbreon does have Feint Attack, which is the wrong move. You can see, but I just included this battle because this is the full set, and you can see how much these counters are doing. Absolutely insane, just shredding through that Umbreon. And I come in here with the Ludicolo because Ludicolo can tank 2 Dark Pulses from the Umbreon, and I was not entirely sure of the timing here. I probably could have farmed up a lot more. In fact, I know I could have farmed up a lot more because Feint Attack is just such a bad move. But unfortunately, we didn't. And here's why I chose this as the first video of the first battle of the video. Is boom, baby! Look at that. Have you ever seen so much damage done to an Azumarill? Not often. Leaf Storm, an absolute nuke move. Of course, Azumarill being one of the bulkiest Pokemon, that was very satisfying. Moving on, once again, early season battles here, guys, versus the Farfetch'd. I'm not really sure if Farfetch'd got a buff this season. If you guys know, then sound off in the comments down below, because I have not done my sufficient research into this season other than choosing these the DOUBLADE and the Ludicolo. I don't believe that the Farfetch'd has gotten a buff. Interesting Pokemon here. They're just going to Leaf Blade me. It's going to do a lot of damage. Very strong move, Leaf Blade, but I do win the switch. I'm double boosted here, right? Or single boosted. They have a really weak Pokemon to counter in the back, and you're gonna see in this set, like, that's a pretty common thread, is that a lot of Pokemon are super weak to fighting, and so that's gonna come in handy. Everything's resisted here except for, of course, the Thunder, or the Thunderbolt rather, which doesn't do that much. You're gonna see, DOUBLADE is very, very I wouldn't say very, very glassy, but it's definitely not tanky. Oh man, I feel bad for this guy. Like, this is just someone that's having fun here with their Baniri. I definitely should have just let them win here because this is a fun team. At least they actually built up their Baniri, as you can see. Their Baniri is 1418 CP, so I can't hate them for that team. That was a very fun team. But moving on, so here is a negative lead because of the fact that Toucannon has Peck. I am at a disadvantage. However, Toucannon, I'm not entirely sure of the moveset, even though they just had the community day. I didn't participate in the community day. I know they have a nuke move, so they're going to go for the nuke move, right? I'm going to shield it. I'm going to come in with Ludicolo, and I think that I get another Astonish in here, which would actually be quite good. Yeah, I get another Astonish. That's good because that means that I get a lot more energy. And they have a Tinkaton. Tinkaton is not that bad. This is definitely pretty neutral into my remaining team. You can see these Astonishes are chunking a good amount versus the fairly bulky Tinkaton. And so I get a Dusknoir in the back, and I instantly know what to do. I know that I have to bait here. And so this is why DOUBLADE is so strong. Is sure they could have called the bait, but that's very risky, right? Like, if they called the bait, they would have also lost if I had gone for the full send of the gyro ball. So that was a pretty easy call, I'd say. Also, we get the Sacred Sword here, which is huge. This is not a very good Hone Edge, by the way, folks. This is like basically super attack weighted Hone Edge. We very well could have not gotten that Sacred Sword if we were just like slightly worse and had one less hit point. But we had to do it to them, folks. We go for the Leaf Storm because we know Leaf Storm is a nuke move. It's same type of attack. It probably does honestly more than 50%, even to like a bulky Tinkaton. So that is a good game. Next up, we got Altaria lead, and Altaria is not the best lead for us, folks. We do just barely outpace to the Ice Punches, luckily. However, we're going for Rage Fists. Assuming that they shield, they don't shield. That's really bad for us. We definitely should have just gone for the Ice Punches to be safe. Because at this point they're going to be able to force a shield if we want to stay in here. But however, we're ramping up our attack. They are going to die to this next Rage Fist. They do decide to shield, and here I make a somewhat questionable choice. I think I'm going to actually go into the Doublade. Okay, yeah, I go into the Doublade here, even though I'm double boosted. I'm thinking, I definitely know that I can just farm up a little bit more, and so this is the thing, is like I'm thinking maybe if I can just farm up a little bit over the Sacred Sword and then kill them with the Sacred Sword, I might be able to get ahead of the opponent because Doublade is just such a strong Pokemon with a lot of coverage. And sure enough, that is the case with the Morpeko. Morpeko is going to get basically one shot by the Sacred Sword. You can see here they did not go up to the electric move, and that's going to cost them the game definitely, because if they went up to the electric move, we would have had to make a call if they're going to bait or not, and if we shielded the bait, we probably would have lost. So this was a bad call by me, though. I could have actually just fully farmed them down, and then that would have been game over. If I just stayed in with the Doublade, I could have farmed them down. So yeah, that's just a bad call by me. However, here we go. Here's why the Weather Ball is so killer here. Is two of these Weather Balls easily takes out the very bulky Clodsire. We have amazing amazing timing here with the Astonish, especially with that little energy advantage that we have. You can see here that the Sludge Bomb is not enough to take us out, not even close. So we're gonna go for this Weather Ball here. We can swap back into the Hone Edge and easily get off this Gyro Ball before they manage to get off their Earthquake. They do throw here, and as you're going to see, this is a Stone Edge. I'm not sure, is this like a normal moveset of Clodsire in this season? regardless, that is their last Pokemon, and they lose. But still, it was surprising to see Sludge Bomb and Stone Edge on a Clodsire. Marowak is a neutral lead here, but what you're going to see is I do something very questionable. I don't know why I do this, but I let this go knowing that I live this. I'm going to force a shield. That's what I'm going to do, is that I force a shield with this Ice Punch. I'm thinking that with a shield advantage, at this point, I'm pretty confident that Hone Edge can win the back. But what they do is they no-shield, and I actually win that. That's okay. Blastoise does get some very valuable energy here. But the fact that they have no fast move pressure, really, versus the rest of my team is speaking to me, and it's telling me that maybe I let this go. Like, I don't know why I did that. I messed this up. Like, I definitely should not have thrown the Sacred Sword versus the Skeletors. Luckily, they shield, so I got a free pass there. Definitely, this was my battle to win, and then I screwed up by throwing the Sacred Sword there. But I'm very grateful they shielded. This is definitely my win con here, is having two of these. I know that they're going to win CMP, right? So I don't throw. I don't throw because I know that they win CMP and I get 3 free turns. So I'm going to farm them down. They do not want to get farmed down. So of course we throw this. I believe that this was actually 1 turn early. I think that we could have actually gone for an extra Astonish, but I recognized that I could just Shadow Claw down the Skeledirge. And so those are all of our battles, folks, for today.